So I got to spend some time playing a new hack and slash co-op game that ended up being a lot of fun. It just recently came out, and while it doesn't seem to add anything new to the space, what it manages to do is create a really fun time, sort of like a roguelite in a medieval fantasy time that you can play in co-op too. I would even argue I really enjoyed that aspect of the game even more, just playing this with one more friend. It worked as something you could dive into for that one run, and have a really good time with it, or something you can spend an entire night playing, as it has that addiction. Morgenstern is a little indie I had no idea about, and I'm very glad that I got a chance to play it. So what is the best way to describe this game? It feels like if you took old school Gauntlet, Killing Floor, Serious Sam, a little bit of Dynasty Warriors at times, and then that roguelite progression, and put that all into a blender. It's pulling from a lot of things, and oddly enough, it works really well. To the game's credit, I jumped on with a friend of mine, and we wanted to just give this a try. It looked fun enough, and as we both played, we were getting more and more into it. Again, not really anything new in terms of being innovative, and not every game needs to do this, but what is presented here is really good, from action to progression. That is something that I look at when assessing these roguelites. Not whether I can beat them, but rather the loop that they provide in gameplay, fun factor, and progression, all provide something rewarding. If that is done, then it marks another good one in my book. Plus, with this title being in early access, you can see the areas that it needs more in for sure, and that's okay. But at the same time, when looking at the guts of the game, what it is at its core, the game is just plain fun. So what even is this game? You start by picking one of the 3 character classes. They are a bit different, with the knight being more middle of the road, the dwarf being more focused on strength, and then the hot elf chick being a magic user and better at the spell casting area. You start each instance at level 1, and then as you defeat enemies you will gain. It is here where you can level up and choose from one of 3 upgrades. They are usually stat, weapon, or material based. On a really long and strong run that me and my friend had, I managed to take the elf spellcaster from being both a godlike ranged attacker that they're more naturally like, to being more of a battle mage, as I was able to tank a lot of hits and do a solid amount of melee damage too, from the insane amount of frost damage buffs that I was getting for my weapons. There's choices here when you level up, and I like the tweaks that you can make. Along with this, you will find better weapons, spells, and especially armor. This acts like a shield, and it's essential for your survival. Health is rarely given out, you want that armor. Essentially, the deeper you go and extract, the more rewards you're going to be able to take back with you. You will still take back some of the long-term upgrades, even if you die, but if you're able to get out of there, you're going to get a lot more. And there were several times where this was very challenging and then rewarding to pull off. The action itself is solid, attacking enemies is good, the weapons and variety are fun, spells are cool and give you those range hits that you need. Plus the game gets some extra points for throwing that hot elf character in there, which her outfit just made me and my buddy laugh. They know their audience and that is great. Battles have you in these rooms where you need to contend with a lot of enemies. Often you can use the prior rooms as a way to funnel them into that tight spot, to be able to make some of these particularly harder fights a lot easier, especially depending on who you're fighting. Something else to add too is that I really appreciated the humor within this game. You have Karens that you fight, and even can summon, along with turning into a pig if you die. The silly elements jive well with the rest of the game. Yes, Morgenstern is very enjoyable, and also a game that does need some more attention in some areas. For one, I think it's way too punishing for when you die. When you die, you go all the way back to level 1, and need to then re-earn and level up everything again. In co-op, if your friend survives, then you can try to have a comeback. but if you're really late into a run, that is going to be near impossible to honestly do. I feel like there needs to be more of a happy middle ground where death has those consequences, along with it being more fair in terms of challenge when you die. I do not have a solution for this, but I think this area could benefit from improvement. Along with this, the overall game needs more things to upgrade and then earn. You earn materials that give you your starting weapons, spells, shields, and all of that, along with some passives that you can use on your runs. Then you can also improve your base stats too, along with unlocking additional characters. But I think there should be more upgrades, more variations of weapons and spells, along with seeing the same weapon, but with different rarities too. I want a sword that goes from being a common to a legendary, something like that. I had a really annoying issue that would pop up where I would try to fire off my fireball spell, but the game just wouldn't do it, so my character looked like she was having a fit. By switching spells, this would then fix this, but it was really annoying when this would happen during a heated combat encounter. Speaking more to the lack of polish in some areas is that some enemies will just not engage with you or disengage at times. This can honestly be helpful in the later stages, but it still shows a jank element. More enemies are needed as well, with them keeping you on your toes. You do get a bunch, but more is needed. Same can be said about the maps. You might fight through the same set of areas, but then the weather gets changed along the way. Then you have the darker dungeons. Don't get me wrong, the game is very good and very fun, especially for an early access state. But as this goes along, it's only going to get better. And with that, it seems like there's going to be a lot of stuff coming down the road. So Morgenstern is an indie I knew nothing about. Once I played it, I'm very glad I did. This very fun and honestly addictive co-op game that can be played in single player too is just a really good hack and slash game. Upgrading, leveling, and all of that is very enjoyable, along with the smacking of monsters and enemy too. Even in its early access state, the core is very solid, and it's an easy recommendation for any PC user looking for something like this. As the game gets more updates, hopefully it becomes even better, and I wish the developers the very best of luck with it. What are your thoughts on Morgenstern? Have you heard of or played this game? Let me know all this in the comments down below. If you're interested in supporting the channel, please check out my Patreon page. For just $1 a month, you can help to keep this channel going strong, and this allows me to be able to do more for my awesome audience. Please check out the links in the description and pinned comment for ways to support the channel. And most of all, thank you very much for watching.